Hey, you. How are you? Yes, you. See, so often it's easy to ask people, how are they doing? How often do you ask yourself, how am I doing? If you want to learn how to build a self-care routine that lasts, stick around. I have something good for you. Hi, friends. Welcome back to Self-Care with Tika. If you are new here, over here, we talk about all things mental health, self-care, and what exactly it is for you to prioritize yourself. So the last 3 episodes, we talk about self-care, we talk about the myths, we talk about what kind of self-care. But today, I really wanted to talk to you about what is it like to check in with yourself. See, like I said earlier, it's easy to ask your friend, how are you doing? And they'll respond back, I'm great, I'm blessed by the best. But are we really good? So let's talk about exactly how do we check in with ourselves. In order for you to build a self-care routine that's going to last, you need to know exactly where you are in life. Where are you with your emotions? And what do I need to do to continue to replenish not just myself, but for me to be more pleasant, for me to be a joy to be around, and for me, most importantly, to be happy with myself. So if you are looking for signs to see, how am I doing? Right? Let's check number one. Some of the signs that makes you feel like you may not be doing well. Think of the last time you felt a little bit tired, even though you slept over 8 hours. Even though you slept that, but you still woke up tired, or you have no energy, or anything that somebody says, like you irritated about what they say, that might be a sign that you are feeling overwhelmed, or you might be feeling burnt out. If you sometimes you have no emotions, a lot of the time our emotions shows as we're being numb. Like anything that happened, you can't feel nothing. A lot of the time when we go through a lot of traumatic events, or you really like you over it, like you over it with life, you might feel numb. Like nothing anybody says surprise you anymore because you've been so disappointed. That might be a sign of burnt out or people letting you down. If you're not sleeping enough, just like I mentioned earlier, you're not pleasant to be around. All of these things can be signs that you're not doing so well. In addition for that, if you feel disconnected, now that's a big one. Like you can be around a lot of people, but you still feel disconnected, or your mind is like wandering, or you may not feel that whatever that person is saying, it might be good, but you're just not here. Like when you feel disconnected and you always have to bring your mind back to where it is, that might be a sign of burnt out. If you're having family issues, if you're having work issues sometimes, friends, like people always happen to put you in their business, even though you're minding yours, and you're feeling frustrated, these are some signs that may look like, okay, I'm not doing okay. But now that you realize you're not doing okay, what can I do to make sure that I'm doing okay? What kind of self-care activities can I practice to make sure that I'm taking care of myself? So these are some of the signs that might make you feel that you need to care for yourself. So if you want to know exactly how to check in with yourself, I'm going to give you 3 little tips how to check in with yourself. Number 1, ask. It is important to ask yourself, how am I doing? You know how you're doing. Am I at peace? Am I overwhelmed? Am I doing what I used to do? Am I doing what I used to love? So when you are sitting with yourself, you are checking in with yourself, you're pretty much asking yourself, how am I doing? Right? Now that you know that you ask yourself how you're doing, let's think of number 2. Notice. Once you notice what's going on with you, you're more likely to know exactly which area of my life I'm going to tackle. So when you notice something, don't fix it right away. If you notice that you're drained based on all the decisions that you've made, don't be so quick to go and fix it, because it's important for you to sit in with what you're noticing. When you take time to notice what's going on with you, then you know exactly how to tackle what needs to be done. Number 3, now, after we notice without judgment, we respond. And now you can respond, right? One small act can lead to big result. So for instance, if you're feeling tense, a simple stretch is important to do. If you're feeling drained, a simple mindful moment is important for you to do. Like you close your eyes or you taking a deep breath, right? Because you are realizing I need to do this in order for me to continue. So number one, we're gonna ask, how am I physically, emotionally, spiritually? Number two, we're going to notice, right? When you notice what's happening, no judgment, you're just noticing what's happening. And number three, we're going to respond. Now that's the solutions of what do I need to do. If I'm feeling drained, I'm asking myself mentally, how am I doing? Now that I notice it, and then I'm going to respond, what do I need to do? A mental note, read something. That is how you practice what you need to do in order for you to feel less overwhelmed, or practicing some mental self-care. So how do you build a self-care routine that lasts? I always encourage people that you want to start small, but also start with where you are. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, start by acknowledging that I'm feeling overwhelmed. If you're having a hard time getting out of bed, that might be a good reason for you to look at what hygiene that I need to practice. Waking up in the morning, just brush your teeth someday is a big part of self-care. For a lot of people that are clinically depressed, that's a struggle for them, right? So start where you are. That is very, very important. Number two, keep it simple. Keep it simple. If you know that you're struggling already and you're starting small, you cannot say I'm going to work out 7 days a week if you haven't worked out in 3 to 5 years or even 3 to 5 months. Keep it very simple. Taking your vitamins every day, that could be a challenge, but saying I'm going to do or take my vitamins 3 times a week, that's more sustainable, right? So keep it very simple. I'm going to drink my water. Don't start saying I'm going to drink a whole gallon of water when you haven't done it. 3 to 5 cups of water, it's perfect, right? We're not looking for perfection. It's more so how can we progress over time. Journaling. If you enjoy journaling and you haven't done it in a while and you want to start journaling, I always encourage people, try to do it at least twice a week. If you can get to 3, great. If you can get to 1, even better. The goal is when you start small, you're more likely to make it continuously. You're more likely to practice it often, and you also giving yourself time to grow. Number 3, make sure it's sustainable. So one thing about when you start something, you also have to think of, can I do this at my busiest days? Because we know we're busy. We're all adults here, right? So if you're saying working out 5 days a week, can you do that on your busiest day versus I can walk 10 minutes a day? That might be more sustainable. So when you're building that self-care routine, make sure it's sustainable, and also look at, can I do this on my busiest days? Because maybe this current season of your life, you may have more time. Maybe if you don't have more time, later on you might be going back to school, you might be working full-time if you're a mom, or you're a parent. There's so many demands about yourself. You have to make sure, based on the current season of your life right now, if I decide to start this, can I do this at my busiest season? So number 4, or the last one, is build it in truth. That means that it's very easy to compare yourself to other people. We even do it without even knowing. So make sure that the self-care practices that you're going to start, it's something that reflects you. It's something that built with your values, your lifestyle. So what somebody who's married with kids is doing might be different than somebody that may be single, or somebody that's a college student, or somebody that it may be part of a faith organization, right? So make sure that when you're doing something, it's true to your lifestyle. Don't compare yourself to other people. Don't look at other people's small beginnings or beginnings at all to kind of make it look like you can do that for you. That's why it's important to know your values, what works for you, what your lifestyle is, because that's very important. You have to be honest with yourself. The goal is not for you to be perfect again. The goal is for you to start with where you are and kind of grow as you continue. Understand that your wellness doesn't start with a checklist. It starts with compassion. Let's ground ourselves, You already know that's my favorite segment, and that is a sip of self-care segment. So go grab your tea and come back. So grab your pen, paper, and I want you to write down where in your life right now you may be pretending that it's okay, but you know deep down it's really not, right? So, for instance, let's say you are walking around with a smile on your face, but deep down you're managing crisis, you are overwhelmed at work, you might be overwhelmed with friendships or anything else that you are pretending that it's okay, but deep down that you know you're struggling with. I kind of like write it down or think about that, and I want you to not just be kind with yourself, but be honest with yourself about what is one or two things that I can do to kind of help me this week, to give myself the permission to pause. If you're smiling every day at work and you know deep down you're managing all these crises, maybe take a mental health day if you can. Or maybe go by the beach. Maybe take a walk. Maybe connect with somebody that you know they have a word of encouragement for you. But whatever that it is, do something. Give yourself permission to feel it, but also do one or two things about it. You may not be able to change it, but at least you can do something to help you escape from it for this moment. And that is a tip of self-care segment for the day. Lamentations 3 verse 23 says, God's mercy are new every morning. So the point of this segment today was not for you to be perfect, but it's for you, if you messed up yesterday, it's for you to start over again tomorrow. So don't think of this self-care journey as a way that you're gonna get it every day, but it's for you to be more aware of, how do I take care of myself without judgment? How do I make sure that I'm aware of what's going on with me? And how can I be honest with what's going on in my life? And what can I do about that to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do to care for myself mentally? So I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you felt seen. I hope you felt relaxed. And most importantly, remember to Pozé.